All right, Wolves, Coach Jeremy here, and we're going to do a little video here on regroups. So we started talking about this last practice, and you guys were picking it up pretty well. I want to show you kind of the full picture of where we're going with this and how it will look in games, and then you can ask me any questions that you may have once, maybe when we get back to the rink or at the game tomorrow. Okay, so a regroup happens when we've got pressure in the other team's zone. And for whatever reason, maybe they get the puck and they chip it out and it ends up out here. Whoops. Not the right symbol there. Okay. So it can happen there. Sometimes it can happen if, there's a loose puck in the neutral zone already and we pick it up. But let's just take a look at this situation. So if we pick up the puck here, and what's the natural tendency for young players? They want to slap it back in, right? Well, if you slap it back in from here, then what's going to happen? It's going to be offsides, right? So we need to do something else. If we don't do something else, then we're just either getting an offsides or we're going to give it back to the other team. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to draw out exactly what this is going to look like, and then we'll talk about a few other things after that. So as soon as that puck squirts loose, the closest defenseman to it is going to peel out, okay, like this. I call this drag skating, okay, and there may be different coaches that call it different things, but if you hear me talking about drag skate it to the middle, that's what we do. Now, we've been working on our quick two-step crossover starts, and I tell you guys are going to need to use this, right? This is one of the instances where you need to use it. This is just like, you football players, this is just like the quarterback takes the snap, the very first thing he does is what? He drops back into the pocket. And why? So that he can get away from the pressure quickly. Okay? So now, does he drop back into the pocket? Does he turn around and run, like running forward? No, he drops backwards. He backs up. So he's still facing the play. And that's what we want our defenseman to do. So he gets that two-step crossover start, distances himself from the pressure. Because if that puck just barely squirts loose, there's going to be a guy hot on him. Okay, so he's going to pull back, drag skate towards the middle. Okay, now what's his partner doing? His partner should be reading that and supporting. One of our key rules is the defenseman with the puck should never be the last man back. So that means if you see that your partner has the puck, you need to be behind him, what we say is a 45-degree angle. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. If you don't, ask your parents, what does coach mean by a 45-degree angle? But basically, you're still in the middle, but you're at a backwards angle from him. So if he loses the puck, does the other team have a breakaway? No, we still have a guy behind him. Okay, so this guy's dropping back into drag skating mode, and then what usually makes some sense here is to go with a partner pass. Okay, because not only are you going to get yourself away from pressure with your skating, but then you can pass it. The puck moves faster than the player, so you can pass it. Now, as soon as you pass to him, who's the last man back with the puck now? That defenseman. So can he be that guy? No, you have to get back behind him at about a 45-degree angle. Okay? So you're going to be backing up like this. So basically, we want to back up to the point. I'm just going to delete all this, where essentially what we've got is a defenseman about here and a defenseman about here. Okay, one of them will have the puck. Depending on the situation, it may be one, it may be the other. Okay, I should have mentioned this before. This is our own zone, so this is Easton back here. Okay, now what are the wingers doing? Why are we doing this regroup in the first place? We're doing this regroup to give our wingers a chance to get out of the zone so that we can come back into the zone without being offsides. And we want to do this without losing control of the puck. We want to keep the puck. We always want to keep control of the puck for our team. So here's what's going to happen. It's very, very easy. Okay? The regroup that our team is going to do to start off. Now, as we get older, as we get through the seasons, we'll have different types of regroups for different situations. But what we're learning first is what I call a post-up regroup. Okay? So the winger's going to come out and basically post up on the boards like this. I'm gonna fix out this arrow just a little bit, but it's gonna look something like this. Okay. And we want to have him right in this little area. If we draw I'm going to draw a little box here. Okay. This is an area, I used to call it the house when I was younger. So I know we've already talked about like protecting the house, and that's in front of your net. This is a second house. So if I ever talk about getting to the house on the regroup, this is that area. Okay, so this is a receiving zone along the boards, that little square. Okay, both sides have it. So that's the right winger. Okay, right wingers, remember, it's your right winger is based on facing the other team's net. So you want to be on the right side of the ice for this regroup play, facing the other team's net. What do you think the left winger is going to do? You can probably guess. The left winger is going to come out and post up in the other box, okay? In the other house. And that's what it'll look like. So you're going to come out, post up in the box. I should probably draw this a little bit better there. It's a little bit of a loop. Not a huge loop though, okay? It's a little bit of a loop, and then basically you put your butt on the boards right at the blue line. Okay? Now, centerman, we talked a little bit about this. The centerman is, in the defensive zone on our breakout, the centerman is the shadow man, right? So if you had to guess, what would you say the centerman would do on a regroup? If you said shadow man, you are exactly right. So as this puck is coming out, the centerman's shadowing. I'm going to draw like a loose arrow here. Okay, so the centerman's shadowing. Now, let's just say he gets to here. And remember, we worked on this in practice where there's a receiving zone. In fact, I should probably draw it in. There is a receiving zone for the centerman right here. Okay? Remember, you guys, I want you thinking in terms of receiving zones. Okay? It's not like we're looking for a player. We're looking to pass to a certain zone. And if the receiving zone, if the pass to the receiving zone is open but the player's not there, then we can't pass it. But we want to basically be timing it so that there's a possible pass to the receiving zone. So let's say we go like this. Let's say we go D to D pass, okay? Then we've got a possible passing option here to that receiving zone, okay? Or we've got a possible pass up to the boards, and we'll call that a green, okay? We'll go partner pass to a green or partner pass to a white. So these are the same colors that we use in our breakout. Okay, so centerman's going to swing through, presenting himself as a possible option here in the middle. Now, if he doesn't get it there, that's no problem. What he's going to do is continue on, and then he becomes the support man for that winger. So the winger will receive the puck. Give me 1 second here. He'll receive that pass, and it's a little quick touch pass to the middle. Okay, now why that's effective is because the winger's standing still, but the centerman is swinging, right? So he's got his speed going forward. Okay, so they're gonna little D to D pass up. Centerman has swung through, shadow man shadowing the puck, and then he's the one receiving it. Now, as soon as he picks it up, where do you think he goes? Does he cut into the middle and try to do like a one-on, beat the defenseman one-on-one? No, never. Okay. We want to have high percentage setups. So he's going to pick it up and he's going to drive wide with it. Okay? Now, if this winger sees that play has come up the other side, what does he become in a breakout? If that were a breakout, he would become the breakaway man, right? Well, if it's a regroup, he becomes F2. So he sees it, he goes into the far post. Okay? Make sure you stay on side there. And then the player who receives that regroup pass, so in this case it's this winger, what does he do? He becomes the trailer man. Okay, so after he makes that touch pass to the middle, he's going to peel in behind the centerman. Right? Does this look familiar? It's exactly what we do on the breakout, right? So he's going to peel in behind that centerman, and now we've got our attack triangle. Okay, so I'm just going to draw it out for you guys here so you can see it clearly. So we've got that attack triangle. Okay, now we can do drop pass across, whatever we want, but we've got the proper support. We've got the setup. This is pretty simple, pretty straightforward, right? Now here's what I want to show you. Hopefully this works out. Let's get rid of this one, okay? And what we're going to do here is take a look at this. We're going to highlight everything, okay? Now look, what if we moved this all the way down like this? Let's just put it like that. Okay. Now, obviously, some of this stuff, like we don't have our triangle through the neutral zone, so let's get rid of some of this. Yeah, that's about right. What does that look like to us here? It's exactly what our breakout looks like, okay? So instead of attacking the zone, the centerman would pick it up. And who's he looking for? Breakaway man. Right? And then what does this the guy who received this puck do after he passes to the centerman? Swings in behind him, right? We saw a video of that with Aiden doing that. Swings in behind him, becomes the trailer man. Okay? After that centerman makes this pass, what does he do? Because this guy's driving wide, right? This guy's driving wide. What does the centerman do? Becomes F2, so he swings in behind the guy he just passed to. So everybody, once you just pass, after you've passed to somebody, swing in behind him. That's what we do for our support. So it goes F1 here, F2 here, and F3 coming in late. Okay? Obviously, our white possibility is a little bit different with this. It would be more like, let's see here, a little bit more like that. If we were going a D to D pass behind the net, which we call a blue breakout, it's almost exactly the same. So right now we usually go yellow to green or yellow to white. You can also go blue to green or blue to white, which blue means D to D pass. So if you ever hear me yell blue, that's what it means. Okay, and we'll probably work on that as well. But you can see it's exactly the same setup. So really this is nothing new. This is just changing where you're doing your breakout. So a regroup is basically just a breakout that happens in the neutral zone. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Again, let me know if you have any questions on this. And I want you, for me to make sure that you watch this video, I want you to write your name and your favorite NHL player in the comments. And that way I will be able to know. I keep track of who's watched it. So, and then make sure you thank your parents for letting you watch it on their computer or their iPad or whatever else. So that's it. Hopefully that makes sense. We'll see you guys at the game.